Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Bundesliga show brought to you by Over the Bar. We are returning after the international break, the wilderness of the international break. Very happy to be back talking about some upcoming Bundesliga footy. Joined by Peter this fine evening, wet evening in Sheffield it is at least. Peter, how are you?
Doing well, feeling a little bit more optimistic about the German national team after this international break.
Yeah, absolutely. There were some, very promising performances. No more so me being absolutely thrilled seeing Maxi Mittelstadt smash, can't even speak, smash one in just the other evening. That was, absolutely fantastic. We're going to get stuck into it. The weekend's matches, so there'll be no Friday night fixture. Got it all across Saturday and Sunday, so looking forward to it. Before we get stuck into it, just a little bit of admin just to get us going. Obviously, if you can leave a thumbs up on the show, comment along your thoughts, comments, whatever you think about mine and Peter's predictions, how you think how your team's going to do. If you're looking forward to the footy, which I'm sure everyone is, and of course, please do subscribe to the channel. Also, just a bit of piece of information about the fantasy show. Unfortunately, due to scheduling, we can't do one tomorrow morning. Rune has got Easter plans, as do I. So apologies for no show tomorrow. We'll be back for a big run-in thereafter to make sure that we get as much done, basically fantasy football-wise. So from the Over the Bar account, we'll be retweeting everything from the brilliant Bully News, of course. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for all those great articles. Right then, so let's get stuck into it, Peter. Obviously, 9 games to get, to predict. And you're going to kick us off with the RB Leipzig versus Mainz fixture. So what do you fancy for this one?
Well, I'll take the obvious pick here. Believe it or not, the reverse fixture was the only time that Jan Siewert won during his brief stint as the FSV Mainz 05 trainer. But obviously, Bo Henriksen has the deck stacked against him here. Not only are Mainz a very bad team going up against a very good Leipzig team that are rounding themselves into form, but there's also Stefan Bell and Dominic Kor are going to be out, so it's probably going to be Guilavogui or Leitch filling in on that, or not Leitch. Leitch is also out. Fernandez filling in on that back line. Leipzig can have a field day with this. Henriksen has a lot of problems building a squad as well because Ajorque, Fernandez, Tom Kraus, Lee Jae-sung, Marco Richter, and Sylvain Widmer are all on 4 yellow cards. So I don't know what kind of team Henriksen is going to fill, but this has all the markings of an easy win for the German Red Bulls. I'll go for a 3-0 victory.
3-0 victory incoming for the Red Bulls. Okay, so I have the pleasure of having a little look at the Leverkusen Hoffenheim match. Two teams very much poles apart. From a form perspective, naturally Hoffenheim seems to be a bit more comfortable playing away from home. But having said that, I still can't see much past a home banker as well. Obviously, the last time the Leverkusen played, it was the Freiburg match, and although that was a 3-2 scoreline, is when me and Mark would obviously had met up, and we really enjoyed that match and thought there was a really good performance from Leverkusen. So obviously expect that to come to fruition. I think Leverkusen, they're just missing Palacios. Oh, well, obviously Boniface and Hoffman maybe as well. Brooks has got a red card, didn't he, for Hoffenheim? So, and they were very well dispatched by my boys prior to the international break as well. So, yeah, all logic dictates and is pointing towards a home victory. So I'll go for a 3-1 home win. Controlled performance for Leverkusen, pushing them closer to that title. So we'll move on to an interesting game here, Peter. Frankfurt and Union Berlin.
Absolutely. Actually, I've been rather impressed with the manner in which Nenad Bielka has been putting together his tactics and getting the best out of his players. Union, of course, a nice, convincing 2-1 win over SV Werder Bremen before the international break, in which one of my Americans, Brendan Aronson, the older Aronson brother, the Medford Messi himself, scored one goal and helped set up another in a blitz, 2 goals that Union scored right after the half there against SV Werder Bremen. Frankfurt are a very, very difficult side to predict. The big news, insofar as they are concerned, is that Hugo Ekitike, our wonderful palindromic Frenchman, seems to be ready for the starting 11, according to Dino Topmöller in his press conference today. I still really like the way Union are rounding themselves into form. Mikhail Kaufmann, the Dane, did a very good job serving as a false 9 in the last official league match. And I also scouted a test fixture over the international break, Union versus 1. FC Magdeburg, in which Chris Bedia got his scoring boots on. So Vertessen scored in the last match, Aronson scored in the last match, and Bedia has scored over the international break. I should add to it that FC Magdeburg are a very, very bad team. If anyone's had a chance to check out my vlog, in which the Karlsruhe Sport Club annihilated them 7-0.
Yeah.
They are not particularly good, so they're not the best yardstick to measure this for. But I think that there are goals in this one, and I think that there are goals in Union, and I'll make a somewhat surprising tip and go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. It is, yeah. I think I can get on board with such a prediction. Next up, Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Sport Club Freiburg. Tricky one to call this, I think, because obviously already kind of half mentioned Freiburg in their performance or match against Leverkusen before the break. And they're a tough team to beat at home. They have been for a long while, so I wasn't surprised that they kept Leverkusen very honest. They never go away in matches. So definitely expect this to be a very competitive match. Gladbach, yeah, we've talked about them a lot prior to the international break. They're often heavily featured in our featured 4 matches because their matches are often so entertaining. Wouldn't shock me if that was the case again, and that we might get some goals. Speaking of friendlies and scouting between the international break, Freiburg had a match against Saint Gallen, in which obviously their new striker, who hasn't featured as much as he would have liked to, Junior Adumu, got himself. Did he get 3? No, he got 2 goals. So that'd be nice if he could get a bit of a run towards the end of the season and grab a couple of goals. So again, I'm going to have to sit on the fence, I think. I also want to kind of go for a 2-2 draw. So as you know, we're in control. It's our own show. I'll go for 2-2. Why not? So we'll pin it as that. And I'll leave you, Peter, with the very tough task of going through Werder Bremen versus Wolfsburg.
Yes, we go from Christian Streich's farewell tour to the welcome of Ralf Hasenhüttl back in the Bundesliga. The former Southampton trainer is back in German football after literally being linked with every job that was made available over the last 2.5 years. But so Ralf Hasenhüttl, I somehow have faith in him to bring some order out of the Wolfsburg tactics. I am a huge Niko Kovac hater. I've been grumbling about him in my columns for many, many years now, dating back to when he was actually the head coach of FC Bayern München. And to me, the manner in which you put forward something simple with the roster of Wolfsburg has always been fairly straightforward. And I have faith that Hasenhüttl, as the old German adage goes, and a new broom sweeps well. So I believe that Hasenhüttl will be able to restore Wolfsburg, Germany's Green Company team, back to winning ways. And one of the reasons I believe this is because Bremen are also not doing very well at all. There was a test fixture against Hannover over the international break in which David Konaki had to exit injured. They lost to Hannover 1-3, and Justin Njinma is also injured. Wow, watching Naby Keita in that match, I'm so sad to see that this man has lost all of his confidence and may never feature in German football ever again. Nick Voltemada actually did rather well for the Germany U21s over the international break in a relief appearance. So it could be the case that there's a goal or two out of that Bremen front line. So I'm going to give Bremen 1 goal, but I'm going to give Wolfsburg 3. And I don't know where those goals are going to come from necessarily in Wolfsburg. Probably not from a slumping actor like Jonas Wind, but maybe from my American winger Kevin Paredes. And I'll go for 3-1 Wolfsburg. And of course, we arrive now at the one that everybody wants to know about. And Rory, that has fallen to you.
Well, we'll. I think we can both give a prediction for this one, as obviously it should have a really big impact on top 4 races, title races alike. What is known as the Klassiker, Bayern hosting Borussia Dortmund. Interesting comment from DM in the chat as well. Don't care what the Bundesliga says. It's not a classic. Bayern versus Dortmund versus Bayern isn't even a rivalry.
I will point out that yes, Der Klassiker was that is what non-Germans call this. No German refers to this match as Der Klassiker. It is not what we. It was Jürgen Klopp who coined the phrase when he was coaching Dortmund, and it caught on. But Germans do not refer to it as Der Klassiker at all.
No. But yeah, for its advertisement's sake, obviously, it's given the big one. And look, it's a big game. Look, let's not shy away from that at all. It should be a great game, for Saturday evening viewing. Really looking forward to this. In as far as what how the match will play out, both teams, from a form perspective, come into it in good touch. Obviously, if you throw aside Dortmund's shocker against Hoffenheim, they've been doing what they need to do. They're gathering momentum, going on this late charge to secure top 4 football, of which obviously is a really close race. But traveling to the Allianz with this freer Bayern squad, it obviously is going to be a huge challenge for them. The way that I saw Dortmund defending against Frankfurt in their 3-1 win, albeit, just scared me in terms of what Bayern might be able to achieve against them. So with all of that in mind, and just the record, the head-to-head, especially at the Allianz, I can't see past a Bayern win. So I'm going to go for going to be high scoring, inevitably, usually are these sort of games. So I'll go 4-2, I think. Peter, what do you reckon?
We sync up exactly. Hopefully it's not just wishful thinking that we get 6 goals out of this match. I really am hoping for that. The only thing that was really working towards Dortmund's favor, and this is a nice little swipe at Dortmund, was that most of their players are going to be rather well rested after an international break in which only Niklas Füllkrug was called up for Germany.
Yeah.
But I think that on paper it's a total mismatch, particularly when you take Bayern's current form into account. And even if Harry Kane is not available, I think that there are goals in that front line from Matista. Jamal Musiala, the form that Jamal Musiala is in at the moment is just insane. And and Wirtz too, who scored that wonderful record goal in the first German friendly over the international break. So Wirtz and Musiala have us Germans very, very excited about our national team. We're as about excited as we can get. Can I get an answer to Balam's question in there as well about the pink jersey? Yes, I have bought some. Greetings from the United States. I'm across the pond once again. I'll be back next week. But I've been distributing Frauen Bundesliga swag to all of the daughters of my friends. So as a strong female footballing advocate, I was first to buy the pink jersey. I did not get into debates with people on social media about whether or not this was it's just the ugly side of humanity when people say, "Oh my God, how can they put them in a pink jersey?" Werder Bremen wore a pink jersey last year. It was a nice jersey. There's no problem with the pink jersey. Yes, I have some. Yes, the daughters of my kids will be getting it, and that's right.
Good stuff. Right, so I'll let you take FC Augsburg against FC.
Yeah, Moritz, my Bully News colleague, is not going to like it, of course. Oh boy, do we have problems with Köln. Unfortunately, Paccarada and Fink Gräfe, it looks like they're both going to miss out with injury. Davy Selke is back for whatever that's worth, but it looks like Dominik Heinz will be your starting left back, which never really bodes well. FC Augsburg have won 4 consecutive league fixtures. And we talked about this on the last pod that we were together. I think you spoke about it on the pod that I missed as well, how Augsburg, they have a chance to set a Bundesliga record with their 5th consecutive win. They've not done that before. They have a chance to be a German European side that Germans can really get excited about. When you look at some of the Europa League contenders that we have now, like Eintracht and Hoffenheim, these are not very consistent sides. They're not very exciting and enthralling and captivating sides. But the Fuggerstädter are. And so I think that they're going to do an excellent job in this one. I'm going to tip a 3-1 victory for the Bavarian Swabians.
3-1 victory is, again, very hard to argue against. Right, so next game up is VfB Stuttgart hosting FC Heidenheim. And I'm not usually a fan of covering my boys in terms of predictions because I don't like to put the mockers on them. But yeah, so looking at this one, the home side are in great nick, having a load of great moments for some of their German representatives during the international break. It was excellent to see. Really hope that doesn't put them on the market too much, mind. I want to keep them for as long as possible. Based on the form as well of the club, really professional job against Hoffenheim before the international break. And, the football has been excellent prior to that as well. Heidenheim just going through a bit of a slump at the moment, aren't they? Obviously, I think we realise that they're safe for Bundesliga football next season, which as an achievement is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing, well done to them. And unless things really, really go super bad, obviously they had that 1-1 draw with Gladbach prior to the international break. Form's been patchy, but they've not been knocked for 6 for a while. They've lost 1-0, lost 2-1, drew 2-2. So they've often been in the contest. But yeah, traveling away to Stuttgart will be a tricky one for them. So as much as I hate doing it, I have to predict a home win. I'm backing the lads to go out there and get a really important win because the run-in for Stuttgart thereafter is looking a lot more tricky. And this has to be a win in regards to top 4 football. So with that in mind, I'll go 3-1. Let's go 3-1. 2-goal cushion would be really nice to finish with on a Sunday afternoon. Leads us to our last game of the weekend. A bit of Sunday evening viewing for us, Peter. A bit of Bochum and Darmstadt. Huge game.
I hope somebody other than myself will be interested in this one. The Hinrunde fixture actually did produce 3 goals. It was a fascinating game tactically. Bochum ended up winning 2-1. The problem here is that as big a fan as I am of Bochum, they just have not been able to get into gear lately. And Thomas Lech, and I think some of this has to do with the fact that he's been rotating his strikers out way too often. And either Philipp Hoffmann or Giancarlo Paciencia or Moritz Brzezinski has been able to get into a rhythm. Here we have the problems also that Christopher Antwi is on 4 yellow cards and may potentially not be selected for the starting 11. That does leave Takuma Asano, the Jaguar, who is always dangerous up the flanks there. But I think that we have some issues here in putting together the Bochum 11. Osterhager is another one who's on 4 yellow cards. I suppose you could call him the talisman of the team at this point. And with Darmstadt, I mean, the luck just there is no luck. Marvin Melhem is out again. Fabian Nürnberger is out again. We have 2 sides that are awful in attack here. And as much as I would like to see this fixture, a match for true football connoisseurs, That's exactly what I'm going to predict, unfortunately. I hope that I'm wrong about this, and I look forward to writing about Bochum and Darmstadt in the tactics column, even though it's a section that everybody's going to skip over if I write it. But it has all the hallmarks of a horribly ugly 0-0 draw. I mean, I guess it is a true relegation 6-pointer, you could say, even though the sides are separated by 12 points on the table. It is a match with some important connotations for the relegation race. And as you were mentioning just before the international break, we have our relegation race back to a certain extent because Bochum is slumping, and we don't necessarily know how Wolfsburg are going to react under Hasenhüttl. Personally, to me, I think that Wolfsburg, as I predicted earlier, are going to rebound, and Bochum probably will as well. So it's probably going to be that 3-horse race after the weekend is done yet again. But who knows? There might be a surprise in there for us.
Absolutely, yeah. We shall see. Right, if I can, I'll just very quickly scroll over to see what the table would look like if mine and Peter's predictions were to come to pass. It would be very much, I was about to say it would be very much unchanged. No, it wouldn't be. Leipzig would jump ahead of Dortmund as a result of potentially losing the Klassiker. So that would be quite a big shift in that sense. And Stuttgart, for all their money, would stretch the lead over 5th place to 9 points. How big would that be if we are right in what we're saying? And I'll jump back down. We've got Augsburg strengthening their position in 7th place potentially. And then, if we're right in what we're saying with regards to relegation, things might, stretch out a little bit again. It is still looking like it's going to be a tricky one for Mainz and Köln to haul in one of Bochum or Wolfsburg. So interesting weekend to come. Really looking forward to it. Can't wait to just absorb as much Bundesliga footy as possible. So that will pretty much round us up this evening. So thank you to everyone that's tuned in with us this evening via YouTube, via Twitch, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Appreciate everyone and your comments, Balin, Danny, and DM. That's brilliant. So if you can leave a thumbs up on the show, that would be massively appreciated. If you've missed it whilst we've been live, comment, let us know your predictions. Always enjoy good debate in the comment section, and of course subscribe to the channel. All there is left to say is thank you, Peter, thank you everyone, and we'll catch you in the next show, which will be on Monday. Again, no fantasy show unfortunately, but so we'll catch you all on Monday. Cheers all.